Hey Shane,
Hey, can you see me?
I can. I think we're live,
See anything
live
yet?
on Facebook. It says,
Oh, yet?
yeah, we are. We sure are. We're live on We're live on Facebook. So, well, we'll wait for a few people to jump on.
I don't see anything, brother. I'm live and I don't even know what's going on.
You are. You're live. Probably.
Oh, cool. I am live. And we got a couple of people on.
All right. So what are we talking about?
What are we talking about? Well, things are changing fast, much faster than we expected, especially in the real estate world. And to, I am frozen. Can you see me?
Yeah, you're good.
So let me see this. I am completely frozen. So I'm going back to Zoom. So I just want to be out there, right? And right now, obviously, I can be at home, worry about the future, be scared, which all this did happen when we got the notice of the lockdown. Immediately, we all went there and said, what are we going to do from here? How am I going to do my real estate business? Oh shoot, I'm going to go out of business. I'm going to lose everything I have. So obviously all that was there naturally. So now you just have to come up with creative ideas to be relevant, to be right in front of people. And there's no better time than right now because everybody's at home right now. Everybody's on social media. This is a perfect time to come up with really good ideas and execute it. There's a saying that ideation without execution is nothing but a delusion. And I have many good ideas in the past before, and I never executed. Why? Because it's fear of how dumb I'm going to look, how silly I'm going to look. And you know what? I have no choice. I got to do it, regardless how uncomfortable I am doing Facebook Live. I just have to do it. Okay, so this is my first time doing Facebook Live. Well, I've done it before, and probably 2 years ago, and I was not comfortable. Now I'm going back doing Facebook Live. I want to get better at it. I want to be more comfortable. And like anything, if you don't do it, you're never going to be good at it. If you want to be good at something, you just have to start it, do it, and then just work at it one day at a time. So the reason I bring up Mike is Mike does a lot of tech coaching with many agents, many top agents here in Las Vegas. And he just has so many good, useful tools out there to help us to be relevant, to be noticed, to be seen in this business, real estate. Talk
Yeah.
to me, Mike. So, Mike, what are some of the technologies out there that you notice that people are start using a lot and
Yeah.
doing a lot lately?
It's like this. We're on a Zoom call, right? So I've been using Zoom for a couple years now, but it wasn't widely adopted by the business community, by real estate agents, even trying to get have meetings within our team, title and escrow. Nobody was really comfortable with doing Zoom, and so I even did a poll question on September 19th. I asked real estate agents. I had about 50 of them chime in. And the question was, um, are you guys more comfortable or, do you prefer to do meetings in person or do you prefer to do meetings virtually? And I had only 10% of real estate agents say that they wanted to do meetings virtually then, right?
Right.
And now we're forced to get out of our comfort zone, like you're talking about, and we're having to do these virtual meetings and create content through Facebook Live and things like that. So it's completely stretching not just our industry, but it's stretching every industry right now. My kids right now, if they want help with from their teacher, they have to do it through Zoom.
Right.
If I have a meeting with a real estate agent, it's through Zoom. We're starting to see more of the closings. Some of it is having to be done a little more with DocuSign, mobile notaries, e-signings. All that is starting to happen at a lot faster rate. I saw this kind of going. I saw this being a industry normal maybe in a couple years, but with everything that's happening, it's accelerated that process. And now here we are, me and you doing an interview that we typically would be doing in person. We're doing through a virtual Zoom meeting.
Exactly. I always said I train real estate agents, my agents a lot. And a lot of time I tell my agents that a lot of time you learn new skills when you have problems, when you face something that you haven't faced before, any obstacle. And right now, every real estate agents are facing this social distancing, right? And we can't be literally, we can't be next to our clients. So we have to come up with clever ideas, technologies to work with our clients and still be in the business. So I give you an example today. I did Facebook, what do you call it? Not Facebook Live, FaceTime. I did FaceTime with my clients, and I took a listing in Rose Ranch, and that was the only way I can do work today, FaceTiming. And also with DocuSign, which we had it for a while, but without those two technologies right there, I wouldn't be able to take on that listing today. There's another thing that I notice people do a lot is people who never done videos start doing a lot of videos at home, like exercise videos, funny videos, creative videos. I noticed that people are getting more comfortable to do that. And when you see so many other people doing it, you just get more comfortable and start copying. So that's the new trend that I see a lot right now.
Exactly. It's funny is today we had there's a top real estate agent. A lot of agents know him. He's out of the Portland market, Cody Gibson, and he's doing his own Zoom tomorrow. But he had one of his kids who, what does hip hop classes, and he did a hip hop classes for real estate kids, real estate professional kids, and even my daughter jumped on and did a Zoom hip hop class to get her active. And it's just awesome just kind of seeing how people are finding, like you said, different creative ways on being able to still have that connection with people, but doing it in having to do it in such a unique way. Shane, how is this impacting you when it comes to prospecting and listing presentations and even, buyer showings? How's that impacting you right now?
So obviously the most challenging part is not being in front of a client. And your selling skill has to be much higher. So I do a lot of practicing before I pick up the phone or before I do my FaceTime. So that's important. You always want to sharpen your skills before you pick up the phone. But one thing that I find out is that when you do anything the first time, it is difficult, it is hard. But when you do it over and over and you realize what you did wrong, the key is you need to find out, or you need to remember what you did wrong. Once you do that, you can always get better at the next call. So right now, FaceTime basically is something that I do a lot in phone calls. So a lot of my listings are over the phone or FaceTime.
Are you finding that the clients that you're doing these FaceTimes with, in these different virtual meetings and doing listing presentations and buyer showings, are you finding that they are getting used to it as well? I mean, we're about 2 weeks into this. Are your clients starting to get more used to meeting this way?
It's expected, obviously. There's no other way to meet a client right now. If most people, I would say 99% of the people are very uncomfortable to see you in person. And if they do see you in person, obviously, I always tell them what to do first, or how I come in, how far apart we are, how we don't touch. And so I know the rule is 6 feet. I tend to stand like 10 feet away from the right? And I do tell them way ahead of time so I don't offend anybody. And also to protect myself, but also to protect the client.
Yeah, and we've had to do the same thing at our offices. Some of our offices, actually all of our offices are still open, but how we're kind of creating that social distancing and being, keeping people safe is exactly what you're talking about. We're we're having it to where we're only bringing a certain amount of people in. So our offices are slower because we're only having one family or one person come in to do the signing, and we're like across the table kind of deal, like one end of the table, the other end of the table. They keep the pen after the closing. I mean, extra precautions for what we're having to do. So it's one of those things where, and we try to do as much virtually as we can as well, whether it's talking to agents or on the client side, we're doing as much DocuSign, and to where they only have to come in and essentially do the wet signatures.
Right.
So
I want to ask you this question. So
okay.
when the lockdown did happen last week, what was the number one question that every agent asked you? What did they ask you?
I have had an incredible amount of agents reach out to me and ask how to get their Zoom set up. That has been the number one thing that I have had to help agents with in this last week, is just getting their account set up. What features do they need? Do they need a free account versus a pro account? And if they do have a pro account, I mean, Zoom could get pretty complicated on what boxes to select, how to run a Zoom meeting properly, to where, a lot of agents are having to, that weren't very techie, are being forced immediately on how to be more techie, on how to use this product right here, Zoom. And we've seen that's probably been, I would say 75% of what I've been doing the last week is just taking meeting after meeting, helping people get Zoom set up.
Technology versus what to do, right?
What's that?
Technology such as Zoom. You can also use WhatsApp. You can also use Facebook Messenger to do a video chat. Am I right?
Absolutely. Yeah, there are other video chat softwares. FaceTime is great. If you have an iPhone or some Google Duo is one that a lot of people use too. So there are several different platforms, but any of those things, I'm seeing everybody's they're asking questions on how to get those things set up. And that's been the biggest piece. The more advanced type stuff is I'm seeing more people ask how to, do some different things marketing wise. They're asking how to stay in front of their clients, and BombBomb is an incredible tool to do kind of some video marketing type stuff, video email. People are they're turning off their automation though. That's a big thing. I'm seeing people turn off their automation because they also don't want to come across insensitive. So there's having to be a lot more peer-to-peer or person-to-person checking in with your database and asking them, hey, just checking in and want to see how you're doing. And, and that's been a big increase on that, is the messaging has changed in marketing to where people aren't going, hey, are you looking at buying or selling real estate? It's, hey, just checking in with you. And a lot of times what happens is your clients, your database, they're just going to ask you, hey, we were thinking about buying, we're thinking about selling, what is your expertise on how you're seeing everything go, towards real estate with everything being impacted?
You remember the number 2 question that you're supposed to ask me when we talked over the phone earlier? Do you remember that question?
Yeah. What advice would you give to real estate agents on tasks they should be doing daily? This is a great one. What are you doing every single day right now as a real estate agent to continue to drive your business while still being empathetic?
So obviously, this is a very sensitive time. The worst thing you can do is call somebody and say you want to buy or sell. That's just not how you do it. That's not the way to do it. But the reality, it doesn't matter if the market is really hot, really slow, really bad, whatever it is, there's always buying and sellings. The key is that be available and be ready when they're ready to sell or when they're ready to buy. So the whole point of my phone calls is when I call the seller, I ask them how I can help them in any way. And I have to listen to them, not what I want them to hear me. So I always want to make sure that I listen to them. And number one thing I ask them is, how can I help in this situation? And a lot of time, when they tell you there's nothing you can do, then you can't do anything. But when a client says, but you can do this for me, now that is a great opportunity for you to be connected with your clients right there. I need you to do this. If you can, please do this. And guess what? I do it right away. So I don't call to get the business, but I really call to build the relationship, because at the end of the day, it's all about relationship, and it's long-term relationship. You don't necessarily get a sale today. I didn't call to get a sales today. I call just to build that relationship. And hopefully when they know somebody who's buying or selling, they will call Shane and remember me. I was the one who called them first. One of the things I did immediately after the lockdown, and a lot of my friends on Facebook are restaurant owners, I call almost every single one of them I know. And the first thing I ask them is, I know it's tough right now. What can I do for you to help you on your business?
Wow.
Half of them said, I don't know what you can do, Shane. And half of them said, if you can, just pass the word out on Facebook out there, and see if you can get people to spend money, or to buy gift cards or whatever you can, or to take what do you call it, deliveries orders or takeout orders.
Takeout, yeah.
So what I did is I call and I call and I call. I call mostly business owners that are here in Las Vegas, and I said the number one question: what can I do to help you?
Absolutely. Today is actually it's like National Takeout Day. So if one of the ways you can support those restaurants like Shane's talking about is continue to do, Grubhub, Takeout, DoorDash, Uber Eats. And, we're seeing talking about technology, we're seeing a massive increase in using technology to do even life things.
Right.
I've ordered my groceries for probably the last year and a half through Instacart. And now we're seeing a great increase in grocery delivery services. Amazon, of course, is already huge, but more Amazon Fresh and some of these other programs. Number one, they're going to be better for social distancing, and number two, it's just easier to stay home and
Right.
stay safe that way. So, and we're seeing that impacted. So that's great, for you to reach out. I know you have a lot of clients that you deal with that their business is on the strip, as well as restaurant owners. And so they're kind of having to reinvent themselves, or find ways to stay busy.
Everybody's doing basically takeout orders, the majority of the restaurant owners that I know. But one thing that I find myself do a lot, I do twice as much of the phone calls. I reach out twice as much to the past clients. But in addition to that, I reach out to a lot of top producers in town. And I always call them and say, what are you doing out there right now? And you cannot believe the majority of them will tell you, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. And you just take notes. The worst thing you can do right now is call another friend and feel sorry for each other and waste 20 minutes every day on the same story over and over. Oh my God, the market is so slow. Oh my God, oh, I have no calls. Oh, I haven't got anything in 4 or 5 days. When you do that, you're going to be a professional, really good at that, and you're going to be stuck there. Don't do that. You want to call all those friends of yours who are doing well, or who's doing something right, or doing just anything. Call them and get their ideas from them. Trust me, everybody can bring something to the table, and they will really help if you reach out. But at the same time, don't just call, hey, what can you give me? But call and find out what you can do for your friends as well. So I keep in touch with a lot of good top producers in town, and always call them and see what I can do. And I still do that pretty much on the daily basis.
So collaboration is incredibly key right now,
Right.
To your business. We got the next question. I think the next question's for me.
What is it?
On here. About the iBuyers.
iBuyers. Oh yeah, what's going on with the iBuyers?
Yeah, so I get the opportunity to kind of work with a couple of the iBuyers here in town. And they've all paused their purchasing. So Open Door, Redfin Now, which is in partnership with Open Door, OfferPad just yesterday paused their purchasing side of their business, so they're not buying any homes right now. And Zillow this week also paused the purchasing side. So what does that mean? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. A lot of,
So when thing goes bad, iBuyers run. Real estate agents still stick around, and we stick around for our clients, and we don't run. We will never run. We never leave our clients behind. So you gotta see us that we are human beings and we care and we're here for you. And the iBuyers, they're just a corporation. It's all about the money. It's all about making profits. It's all about taking advantage of the desperate sellers who needs to sell them desperately. And with us, we don't do that. We're still here regardless of what's going on in the economy. None of us are running away from our clients. Zero.
I do see though, I think that when they're kind of taking a calculated approach to it as well. And if we do see any kind of decrease in any appreciation decrease, any price drop, that kind of stuff, and do see a shift in our market, I don't think that they're going to be away forever. I think they are going to come back and purchase more homes and just do it at less of a price. So I think they're kind of taking their calculated risk, but I do agree with you. I think the relationship side of the business is so strong right now. We're seeing that people are wanting the relationship, and they're wanting that relationship with their real estate agent versus a corporation. So I think that you're right. That is winning out right now. It's going to be interesting to see how this all changes here in the coming months. We have no idea what's going to actually happen, but I do think that the consumer, how they respond and how we're seeing these iBuyers kind of drop out of the market, how soon do they enter back in, and what that looks like and how the consumer responds to it. I think you're right. I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see what that looks like.
Exactly. What other question do you have for me?
Yeah. So, we got going back to, the day-to-day of a real estate agent. When we're talking about, you talked about kind of doubling up your prospecting, double up, your phone calls, that kind of stuff, staying more in touch with your database. So on the prospecting side, when it's going after new business, and I know a big part of what you do is social media. You get a lot of your by putting out lots of content. What kind of content would you recommend or suggest to a real estate agent that is looking at possibly prospecting or doing social media content to generate new business? What advice can you give to that real estate agent right now?
When it comes to social media, I like to stand out. So if I type in or post everything like everybody else, I will blend in and I can't stand out. So I like to do mine differently. So one of the things I always do is when I go to a listing presentation, immediately after the sign, once they sign the agreement, I immediately do a quick tour around the house. And I find that to be very useful because people love videos. People just love to see videos. So I always constantly like to do videos, regardless if it's for, like I did a humor one, the one that was, I drank the big coffee a couple of days. I don't know if you saw that. That was good.
Yeah.
Got a lot of attention on that. It's just, you just have to come up with, another thing is, as long as you are yourself, you're fine. You don't want to be like John, Steve, Mary. Everybody has their own way because everybody's taken. Just be yourself. There are plenty of people out there that just love who you are, and you just have to do more. Now, the reason I keep contacting Michael England is, first of all, I don't know anything about Facebook Live. I try to go live with another person last week. It was a disaster. For an hour, I couldn't do it. I found out that Facebook took that feature out. They no longer allow two people to do side-by-side FaceTime. So you have to use a third-party software like Zoom or Be Live in order to do Facebook Live. And right now, I have so much free time in terms of, I'm not running all the time. So I have to come up with different content, different ideas to do Facebook Live, because I found out that once you go live, the amount of people that watches you is just so amazing. It's just people constantly log on, and they want to know what Shane is doing. But Another important thing about Facebook Live is after you go live, it will stay there and people will comment and will last longer. So you get a lot of views. Okay. The whole purpose of me doing this is that I need to make myself relevant and make myself stand out. And that's why I'm doing this live. Being comfortable or not, I don't know, I figured it out, but I just have to do it and be better at it. And there's no other way than to start doing it.
Absolutely.
A lot of videos.
What would,
A lot of videos.
yeah, exactly. What, so more, so right now I am starting to see some people, and I've seen you do this. You've been doing this for a long time, but now I'm seeing more and more agents do what I kind of call the virtual open house, where they go through and they Facebook Live and they walk through the house and kind of, you know, there it's almost like, you know, somebody is right behind you and you're showing aspects, answering questions, that kind of stuff. I think that is a huge part, should be a huge part of what we're doing right now, especially vacant homes are a good place to do that kind of stuff with.
Yes, yes. And I know that many agents out there have incredible ideas, and it's just a matter of taking full execution and do it right away. Don't wait it until it becomes, you know, that idea become obsolete. So for me, I got to do this Facebook Live. I know that not only I benefit a lot, but other agents will benefit and see how powerful this tool is.
Absolutely. All right. So I think we're on the last question here.
What question is that?
You wanted this is the one you asked me right before we came on. I always have a cool tech trick up my sleeve. What's something I can share with everybody? So
Yeah.
So right here you can see that I'm in a coffee shop, right? So it looks like a coffee shop in my background, and I even put my my logo here, so you can brand your Zoom. You can add what they call a virtual background. And it is part of the pro account. Pro account's $15 a month. Totally worth it because it lets you have longer meetings and do a lot more functions. And right here, this virtual background, I can upload any image as a background that does kind of like a green screen background. So I don't really have a green screen behind me, but I can do several of these different virtual backgrounds and load some of my own ones up as a virtual background. So it's kind of a nice little feature that you can do here. Let's see if I can even.
You're such a nerd.
I'll change my virtual background for everybody here. So hold on one sec. So I could be.
I say you're such a nerd.
Yeah. This is what I do with a little extra time. So we got San Francisco. You know, we're going to the moon. Let's do it. I've got this one here, Las Vegas. And then of course, the one I've been using. And I've had people ask me, they go,
this is my favorite one.
Yeah, I think the coffee shop's the best. I have people ask me on all my Zooms, they're like, man, are you in a coffee shop? And because it looks pretty good, the coffee shop one does. And I say, yeah, you know, I got my barista right here, you know, serving me up coffee and
minutes.
So there you go. So that's a virtual background that you can get with the pro setting and put your own little branding and stuff.
The audience, what's the difference between the free version and pro? So I signed up for the pro today because I want to do Facebook Live with Michael England. So the free version, you cannot do that. It gives you a lot of extra features like the background that you can change the virtual background. If you do the pro, it is $15 a month. And if you pay for the whole year, it is, I believe it's $12.99. So, or probably $12 a month or $13. But in any case, if you pay in a year in advance, you save some money. It's a little cheap.
Yeah.
So sign up. And I'm going to be using this a lot.
Yeah, I think you're gonna do a lot of interviews. I can see a lot of interviews in the future.
I already have many different people lined up for the interviews, so I'm going to be doing a lot of interviews.
Absolutely, and we even saw Robert Adams even said Zoom stock has shot up since this whole pandemic, and you're absolutely right. I mean, the amount of pro accounts and everybody signing up for this service is it's been through the roof, you know, with it.
So it looks like we are living in the future right now. Virtual meeting every day.
No one's going back to the office again.
Yeah, yeah. So my three kids right now are doing online school, actually two out of three, and they're on it at least 5 to 6 hours a day. It's pretty amazing how much information they learn in one day just sitting in front of a computer. I don't know how they do it. I can't be in front of a computer for 4 or 5 hours. That's too much.
Yeah, yeah. You got to, any suggestions out there? You're a great influence on exercise and staying fit and active and keeping your mind right. What are you doing to do that?
Exercise. So I never miss a day of exercise. Pretty much I do it every day. And before I start doing my exercise, I was working more on my discipline and my routine. So once you have your routine, your discipline down, you don't have to push yourself any longer. So as soon as I wake up, brush my teeth, I go immediately to the gym. So I have a home gym. So I don't miss any day of exercise. And I find that when you exercise in the daytime and you get that out of the day, you have more energy to do than anything. I haven't missed much exercise unless I am sick. And if I'm sick, I still try to my best to do exercise until I can't do it. But honestly, it's more routines. So make it really easy, make it very simple. And this is for everybody. You don't have to go to the gym for 30 minutes. You can invest a jump rope. You can buy some dumbbells. You can do push-ups and sit-ups. That's all you need to start out with. And that's what I did. And you do it 2 minutes per body part. It's like 2 minutes of push-ups. So your first rep can be maybe 20 second. And then with the rest time in between, because you only do 2 minutes per body part, you can only rest no more than 10 seconds. And then once you rest 10 seconds, you go back and try to do more push-up as much as you can within that 2 minutes. And then once you get the routine down, the week after that, you add another 30 seconds. Remember, you're working on your routine and your discipline, and you want to make it as simple, as easy as possible. So you do it. Most people don't do any form of exercise because they make it too difficult and too complicated. I want to simplify everything, and that's how I did it. And so I add 30 seconds every week, 30 seconds to the point where you can in wherever amount. So I start out with 12 minutes a day. I'm at 40 minutes a day now. So it's pretty automatic without thinking.
That's awesome. That's great advice. So start
Lost a
with
lot of lost from 184. I'm at 159 now. So even though I am a lot lighter, but my body seems to look a lot bigger because I shredded all my unwanted fat.
Nice. So there you go. Small steps. Build your routine first, and we're all working out from home, or some of us are, and we're talking 2-3 months.
When you call your past clients and you're not comfortable with that, set a goal. Try to do 1 to 2 clients a day. Do that every day, 1 to 2, and make sure you contact at least one person a day. And once you contact that one person, that's good enough. And then the week after that, you may want to add 1 or 2 more contacts. So that's what you want to do. Practice the baby step first. Do the baby steps first, and then from there on, you can add more. That's how you build anything. But don't expect out there, don't expect first day to get 5 contacts, because you're going to get no. You're going to hear a lot of things you don't want to hear. And it's just discourage you for making the next phone call the next day.
Awesome. So there you go. It's all about routine. Whether you're if you're at home, it's setting that routine and sticking to it. And before you know it, we'll be out of this quarantine cycle and still moving forward.
Hey, thank you for teaching me how to get on Zoom today. Thank you for your time today. Took a lot of your time to help me set this up, but I feel good. I'm ready to go on live. Many times.
It doesn't take very much to get you going, and you pick up on the stuff quick.
You remember the first time you had the video camera in front of my face? My face was red. I was frozen. I could not say anything. And that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I thought you were going to kick me out of your office forever.
What now?
I thought you were going to kick me out of your office forever that day.
Exactly. But like everything is extremely difficult at the beginning. Eventually, you just get better and better at it.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Shane, man. Tons of great stuff. So we got a lot of people that chimed in that love the info. So
This is my first Facebook Live, and I'm planning to do a lot more, and I'm planning to bring many, many awesome guests to my Facebook chat. Have a good one, guys. See you later. Thank you, Michael. How do I end this, and how do I go back to my FaceTime and make sure it's still running and safe? How do I do all that?
you go to your bottom right, so scroll down and you hit leave meeting and end meeting for all.
End meeting for all?
Yeah.
Does it take me back to my Facebook Live?
Your Facebook Live will end as soon as you end the Zoom meeting.
And it will save what I have to? It's not going to delete, right?
Yeah, it'll save it.
Okay, I'm doing it. Do I hit leave meeting or end meetings for all?
End meeting for all.
Okay.